I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Hello then, my fellow hunters. Today I want to talk a little bit more in detail about our upcoming anniversary month of content, which is still like a crazy thing to be able to say. Yes, a lot of it is these seasonal events rotating, which technically we've experienced, and a lot of it in the latter weeks are, you know, a handful of surprise event quests that are still yet to be revealed. But in general, it's so much more than anyone could have hoped for. Even Archtempered Arkveld himself being a Guardian remix is just amazing. It really kind of shows that Monster Hunter is kind of best. It's just a little bit different. It's got that certain bit of pizzazz. Because Wilds has certainly had a tumultuous journey, its finish is spectacular, or at least looking to be. I mean, the big finish, of course, was Title Update 4, and then the performance update that followed, and that was spectacular, but now we are getting a spectacular in the anniversary event. And, you know, kudos to the devs. Wilds could have been written off, it could have fallen, and it could have stayed down. But now it's shaping up to really be in contention for best base high rank game. Or should I say base high master rank game? Like, between the builds, our damage, and now 10 star arch-tempered monsters? I fear for us when master rank comes around. That reveal in summer is going to be as terrifying as exciting. In any case, yeah, let's get into this, and I want to start with, and this is going to come as an absolute shock surprise to you all. Hello there. Gorgeous. Yes, Shatterseal, because not only is it just the best greatsword ever, like, I think it might actually beat both rocket-powered greatsword and the Wyvern Jawblade, my current joint first designs, and then close second place is Raging Brachydios. It's something special. And I think no matter what weapon you do main, or whatever weapon you did vote for, I think all I've seen everywhere, and rightly so, that, okay, yeah, fair enough, that thing is breathtaking. Between the actual reality shattered true charge, the mirror forming as you charge up, just the beautiful design to begin with, the floating reflective shards, it's doing things to me, ladies and gentlemen. It's, whew. But, of course, I'm not just here to gush about Shatterseal and how it looks and the fact that Greatsword keeps winning. No, seriously, I'm not, okay? I do really hope that every weapon eventually gets something this good, because everyone does deserve it. But I want to talk about the beast in the blade. Because, yes, I and many others, of course, have noticed that the beast in the blade is not only present, and that's something that we didn't think necessarily would translate from the original concept, but that it's not a monster that, at least to our knowledge, currently exists in Monster Hunter. If we have a little look then, well, it's got this kind of, almost looks like bone, but you can distinctly see scales, so presumably it's the skin. Quite gnarly teeth, one hell of a bite, and it's very, very defined, ridgy towards the eye socket, but the pattern, the color, the shape, it's just simply not a monster that currently is in the roster of any Monster Hunter game. So that's really interesting. And of course that's really interesting because it can only be one of two things. And there is a compelling argument for both of them. The first is it's just some random generic monster that they put in the blade to do the beast in the blade part of the design. As you charge up, the mirror comes together, snaps into place, and then the beast comes to the fore, the crack in the middle to be the eye. It's just a sick design and it needed to be there, but if we give it to a specific monster that's recognizable, that might be a bit weird, so let's just do a generic, creature, and that's cool. And that is entirely plausible, right? That is explanation one. It's just a cool generic creature because that needed to be part of the weapon and it looks good. Think no more into it, there's nothing deeper going on. But in terms of Monster Hunter, in another game that might fly, but Monster Hunter, everything's done for a very deliberate reason, and in a game that is all about the creatures in the game, kind of just generically creating one and leaving it there is a little bit of a weird thing to do. And also, that means creating what is essentially the face of a monster, the model of a monster, because there is some 3D-ness to it. Of course, it could just be impeccable texture work, but from seeing it in motion as the blade forms, it does look like there is a little bit of a 3D model. It's kind of shifting around to give the effect. So if you're actually going to create that, that's a lot of work to put an image in a blade. And yes, the blade itself is a lot of work to make, but, you know, that was the requirement. It's a weapon contest, you gotta make the weapon. But to make the creature trapped in the weapon, it's either a huge, well, a bit of dedication to detail, or it's an opportunity for maybe the second explanation, that this might be a very early tease at a monster in Master Rank. Because if you need to put a beast in the blade, and you don't want it to be anything that already exists in Monster Hunter, and you're clearly working on the Master Rank expansion and have been for a while, grab maybe a test model or an unfinished model or maybe even a more finished one, give it this nice little look, whack it in the blade. Okay, that's cool. We get ourselves a little bit of a tease, a little bit of a hint, but obviously no one's going to identify what it is because no one knows what it is because it's not anything that we've seen before. And then eventually Master Rank reveals start rolling out and we go, hang on, that monster looks familiar. Shatterseal beast. It's a little bit conspiracy theory-y, but when it comes to effort of making a beast for the blade, it's a lot to just do something throwaway and generic, and also doesn't make sense in a Monster Hunter-y kind of way where every creature has to matter because the creatures are the main characters along with the hunter. So doing this nameless, faceless, throwaway, air quotes, main character for the blade, you could kind of see it, couldn't you? I obviously still err with it's just something generic to do the effect with, but there is always that chance, and that's a very fun thing to think about. In any case, yes, the rest of the anniversary event. Back to the larger scope of things then, which is the update. The fact that they need to provide a roadmap for what is an anniversary update is just something else. But it's not just the amount of content or how long it's happening over, it's that each individual bit of it is just looking really, really cool. Obviously, Arch-Tempered Arkveld is getting a Guardian mix-up. Whether it's just Arch-Tempered Guardian Arkveld or it's Arch-Tempered Arkveld that incorporates some Guardianness is unclear, but either way, that's really cool. So not just new moves, but some proper new form. Hell, his armor is some of the first Arch-Tempered armor to have like a physical difference. It's not huge, but that scar is a model change actually going on there, and it's such an impeccable design. Not to mention, an anniversary update is giving us an entirely new layer of endgame in 10-star monsters and a special time 1 charm to farm, which does everything you could want it to do for the most part at endgame. Hopefully these are incredibly potent, and hopefully battle-tempered emblems even, and hopefully they are going to be a new source for getting things done quickly. Now the game's going to sadly kind of go on pause after this anniversary month as we wait for Master Rank. So that's something else. But they also then gave us obviously all 4 other Arch-Tempereds as 10-star. Now, are they going to just be hitting harder, or might there be a sneaky extra move woven into them? That's something to think about. Even just making the pendant an actual ground follow one that everyone loves, the 3 palicos holding it, that's so much better than what would have been the dangling down, and a really, really nice touch. And also, Shatterseal itself has to be an actual greatsword. It's not going to be layered only. And all weapons like this that have been added in event quests do have unique skills. So what if Shatterseal isn't just going to be a layered skin? I doubt it's going to beat Gogma, obviously, but it might actually have something fun or worth using on it skill-wise. That's the thing I'm actually really, really excited about. But then we have the collab, and this is really, really fun, because not only do you have Rudy and the egg delivery, but it's got this little bit of a story attached to it. And you do pick up the eggs and drop them at base camp, but it also respects Story's mechanics. So you help Rudy out, you pick up the eggs, you put them back to your camps, but you can also get rare eggs like you can in Stories that are highly potent, and you get better rewards, and you scale the rewards of the quest as you go. So it's actually going to be a really involved, and hell, we have an entire page dedicated to how to prepare to do egg runs while being chased by other monsters, which is just wonderful. And the actual egg pendants are great. Like, there's so much going into it. I really thought the Stories 3 collab, like kind of the bit more anticlimactic ones in Risebreak, would be go to a map, kill a monster, and you unlock a layered skin. But this has got actual unique mechanics for wilds being baked into it. You see what I mean? There's just a lot going in, and who asked for, needed, or thought we'd get just a random extra side mission for Nadia to unlock a whole ass extra armor set? I mean, no one, but we do, and it has actual story implications. And talking of story implications, Arch-Tempered Arkveld got introduced with a voiceover and a cutscene. So maybe unlike the other Arch-Tempereds, it's actually going to have a little bit of story to it and a final cutscene, which again, no one would really assume. But yeah, the point I'm making is that there is just so much effort, care, and love and detail gone into this as a final celebration, and I think a lot of that is kind of there as a sort of soft apology for the performance issues and the rockiest start, but a lot of it is there because clearly the love for Monster Hunter is there. Wilds deserves to be remembered fondly, and it feels like everything reasonable short of an actual new monster has gone into this finale to make that happen, and I just think it's so cool. It's so nice to be this excited about an anniversary event that we're going to get. Even just the Romper Polo being super as the least hunted monster. It's just such a nice thing to have actually happened. And I just kind of wanted to take a moment and talk about that. Like, hey, guys, the anniversary event is really freaking cool, right? Like, what's going on? It's so much more in both amount and quality of content than we ever could have really thought, and I, for one, can't wait for it to start next week. There's so many parts I'm excited for. Obviously, Shatterseal the most, and Arch-Tempered Arkveld is headlining, but the new event quest, the new layer of difficulty, the collab, there's just so much. It basically is a title update, like, let's be honest here. Yes, no new monster, but short of that, and no one really thought that would happen. So yeah, very cool, very hype, bravo. I just wanted to kind of talk about Monster and celebrate it for a bit, and also discuss Mr. Shatterseal Beast. In any case, let me know what you're most excited for anniversary-wise. Like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.